Swaziland, officially known as the Kingdom of Eswatini, is a small landlocked country located in southern Africa. It is bordered by South Africa to the west and Mozambique to the east. With a population of around 1.1 million people, it is one of the smallest countries in Africa. Here is a brief overview of Swaziland's geography, history, economy, culture, and tourism. Geography: Swaziland is a mostly mountainous country with a diverse range of flora and fauna. It has a tropical climate with rainy summers and dry winters. The country is divided into 4 regions: the Highveld, the Middelveld, the Lowveld, and the Lubombo Plateau. The largest river in Swaziland is the Great Usatu River. History: Swaziland has a long and rich history, dating back to the 18th century. It was originally inhabited by various tribes, including the Bantu-speaking Swazi people, who arrived in the area around the 16th century. In the late 19th century, the country came under British rule and became a protectorate in 1906. It gained independence from the UK in 1968 and became a monarchy, with King Sobhuza II as the first king. Economy: Swaziland has a relatively small economy that is heavily reliant on agriculture, particularly sugarcane and forestry. It also has a significant mining sector, with coal and quarry stone being the main minerals extracted. The country has been hit hard by the HIV/AIDS epidemic, with one of the highest infection rates in the world. Unemployment and poverty are also major issues. Culture: Swaziland has a rich cultural heritage, with traditional dance, music, and art playing an important role in daily life. The country is known for its colorful festivals, including the annual Mshanga reed dance, where thousands of young women gather to cut reeds and present them to the king. Tourism: Swaziland has a growing tourism industry, with visitors drawn to its natural beauty, cultural attractions, and wildlife. The country is home to several national parks and reserves, including Mlowane Wildlife Sanctuary and Lynn Royal National Park. Visitors can go on safari, hike in the mountains, and learn about Swazi culture and traditions. Government: Swaziland is an absolute monarchy, which means that the king has complete control over the government and the country's affairs. The current king is Mswati III, who ascended to the throne in 1986. The king appoints the prime minister and members of the cabinet, and also has the power to dissolve parliament. Languages: Swaziland has 2 official languages, Swazi and English. Swazi is a Bantu language and is spoken by the majority of the population. English is used in official government business, education, and the media. Education: Swaziland has a relatively high literacy rate, with around 90% of the population able to read and write. However, access to education is limited in some areas, particularly in rural areas where schools may be far away or under-resourced. Healthcare: Swaziland has a public healthcare system that is free to all citizens, but it is often under-resourced and overstretched. The country has one of the highest HIV/AIDS prevalence rates in the world, with around 27% of the adult population living with the virus. Religion: Christianity is the dominant religion in Swaziland, with around 90% of the population identifying as Christian. Other religions, including traditional African beliefs and Islam, are also practiced. Transportation: Swaziland has a relatively well-developed road network, with major highways linking the country to South Africa and Mozambique. The country does not have a railway system, but there is a small airport in the capital city, Mlobane, that offers domestic and international flights. Food: The cuisine of Swaziland is influenced by traditional Swazi culture as well as South African and British cuisine. Staple foods include maize, beans, and sorghum, which are often eaten with vegetables and meat. Some popular Swazi dishes include futu, maize meal, sizwati, a type of porridge, and amasi, sour milk. Currency: The currency of Swaziland is the Swazi Lilangeni, SCL, which is pegged to the South African rand. Both currencies are accepted in Swaziland, and it is common to see prices quoted in both. Tourist attractions: Swaziland has a number of tourist attractions that draw visitors from around the world. In addition to the national parks and reserves mentioned earlier, some popular attractions include Mantanga Cultural Village. This open-air museum offers a glimpse into traditional Swazi life, with displays of crafts, music, and dance. Azulwini Valley, known as the Valley of Heaven, this scenic area is home to several hotels, craft markets, and attractions, including the King Sobhuza II Memorial Park. Ingwenya Glass Factory. This working glass factory produces beautiful handcrafted glassware, and visitors can watch the glass blowers at work. Tsibibi Rock. This giant granite dome is one of the largest exposed granite surfaces in the world, and offers spectacular views of the surrounding countryside. Sports. Football, soccer, is the most popular sport in Swaziland, and the national team has had some success in international competitions. Other popular sports include rugby, cricket, and netball. Festivals. Swaziland is known for its colorful festivals and celebrations, which often involve traditional music, dance, and dress. Some popular festivals include Umshangari Dance. This annual event, held in August or September, is one of the most important cultural events in Swaziland. Thousands of young women gather to cut reeds and present them to the king, as a symbol of their virginity and respect. Inkwala Ceremony. This traditional ceremony, held in December or January, marks the beginning of the harvest season. It involves a series of rituals and dances, and culminates in the tasting of the first fruits. Bushfire Festival. This 3-day music and arts festival, held in May, attracts performers from around the world and promotes cultural exchange and social activism. Population. As of 2021, Swaziland has a population of around 1.1 million people. The majority of the population is Swazi, but there are also significant numbers of South Africans and Mozambicans living in the country. Climate. Swaziland has a subtropical climate, with warm summers and mild winters. The country is known for its beautiful landscapes, including mountains, forests, and grasslands. The rainy season runs from October to March, with the heaviest rainfall usually occurring in December and January. Economy. Swaziland has a small, open economy that is heavily dependent on South Africa, which is its largest trading partner. The country's main exports include sugar, wood pulp, and cotton. Agriculture is an important sector of the economy, with most of the population engaged in subsistence farming. Infrastructure. Swaziland has a relatively well-developed infrastructure, with good road networks and telecommunications systems. However, access to basic services such as electricity, water, and sanitation remains limited in some areas, particularly in rural areas. Wildlife. Swaziland is home to a variety of wildlife, including elephants, lions, rhinos, and giraffes. Several national parks and game reserves have been established to protect these animals and their habitats, including Lynn Royal National Park, Makaya Game Reserve, and Malalatia Nature Reserve. History. Swaziland has a rich and complex history, with evidence of human habitation dating back thousands of years. The Swazi people, who are the dominant ethnic group in the country, arrived in the area in the early 18th century. In 1906, Swaziland became a British protectorate, and gained independence in 1968. The country has since undergone significant political and social changes, including the establishment of a monarchy and the adoption of a new constitution in 2005. Languages. The official languages of Swaziland are Swati and English. Swati is the most widely spoken language, and is used in government, education, and media. English is also widely spoken, particularly in urban areas and among the educated population. Religion. The majority of Swaziland's population is Christian, with around 40% of the population belonging to the Swazi Zionist Church, a religious movement that combines Christian beliefs with traditional Swazi practices. There are also significant numbers of Muslims and Hindus living in the country. Education. Swaziland has a relatively well-developed education system, with free primary education and a high literacy rate of around 90%. However, the quality of education varies widely, and there are significant challenges in providing access to education for all children, particularly those living in rural areas. Health. Swaziland has one of the highest HIV/AIDS prevalence rates in the world, with an estimated 27% of the adult population living with the virus. The country also faces significant health challenges related to maternal and child health, malnutrition, and other infectious diseases such as tuberculosis and malaria. Government. Swaziland is a monarchy, with King Mswati III serving as the head of state and head of government. The country has a bicameral parliament consisting of the Senate and the House of Assembly, although political parties are banned and all members of parliament are appointed by the king. Human rights. Swaziland has been criticized by human rights organizations for its restrictions on freedom of speech and association, as well as its treatment of political opponents, journalists, and members of the LGBT+ community. However, the country has made some progress in recent years, including the adoption of a new constitution in 2005 and the establishment of a Human Rights Commission in 2011.